cool too that we got this wind machine to provide that look.
To provide our special effect. So could you just give us a brief history of how Immerse kind of came to be?
Yeah. Well, I think for me, my connection with Immerse really came through my relationship with Chris and in a small group of youth workers that have been really immersed in a conversation for a long time, rethinking how youth ministry should be done, and that it wouldn't be so program driven maybe, but be more focused on spiritual formation, classic Christian formation of young people. And so this conversation manifests itself in so many ways, through training stuff, through writing, through theological reflection, engagement with other youth workers, just researching and exploring, and out of that came lots of stuff, training stuff. And when Barefoot and Chris started looking at the Journal of Student Ministries, there was just another opportunity to maybe acquire that and let that be another platform, another way to continue this conversation.
Can you tell us a little bit who the journal is for?
Yeah, really, I mean, we talked about its primary target are people that are engaged in the formation of young people. We'd like that target to expand primarily from just the full-time vocational youth worker to the volunteer youth workers, and then beyond that to anybody that's involved in some way in the life of adolescents.
In your opinion, why is Immerse needed?
I think, we think, and those of us that are involved in Immerse really feel like the conversation about how youth ministry is done and thinking about youth ministry needs to be broadened out. The topics in which we have this conversation about how youth ministry should be done, that would even be broadened in this interdisciplinary manner, so that we're addressing anthropology, sociology, psychology, economics, justice, just arts and culture in just a broad way, so that when we deal with arts and culture, we're not just dealing with the subculture of contemporary Christian music or Christian art, but art overall. We're trying to be much more holistic in our conversations. So that's why we have these categories and columns that deal with how to cultivate the environments in which spiritual formation is being done. We're looking at Christian history and thought, looking back at our heritage and seeing things there that are relevant for today.
Can you kind of tell us some of your hopes and dreams for the future of Immerse?
It's to shape the conversation, to move the conversation. We have one column that's called Becoming Human, and that's a big passion that we have, that will look at this calling, which is a high calling of engaging in the lives, immersing ourselves in the lives of adolescents. That we will do that as men and women of God, that we will do that as well-rounded people, that we will, as youth workers, walk into the fullness of who God intended us to be, and that we'll immerse in that journey, because I think we'll be such a better youth worker if we become the human being that God intended us to be. And so that's a passion.